Hello, beautiful people. Today's story is about Emily and Nathan, childhood friends who drifted apart but find their way back to each other. Get ready for a journey of friendship, second chances, and hope. The path back to us. Emily sat on the small wooden bench outside the coffee shop, stirring her tea slowly. The autumn wind blew leaves across the pavement, and the city felt quieter than usual. She watched people walking by, talking, laughing, their lives moving fast. She wondered when hers had slowed down so much. Emily had been thinking about Nathan a lot lately. They had been inseparable once. Neighbors, classmates, partners in countless childhood adventures. But life had a way of drifting people apart. A small misunderstanding in high school, a heated argument over a trivial matter, had been enough to break the bond they once thought unbreakable. Emily had thrown herself into her work, building her small boutique business. But some evenings, in the quiet, she felt the tug of old memories. A flash of Nathan's smile, his thoughtful eyes, the way he always seemed to understand her without words. Meanwhile, Nathan was walking home from his office in a nearby city, a worn briefcase in his hand and ideas swirling in his head. He passed familiar streets of his youth and paused briefly at the corner where Emily used to wait for him before school. A pang of regret struck him. He had moved away after college, immersing himself in work to forget. Yet her presence lingered in his thoughts, sharper than he expected. Neither of them knew the other was thinking of them, until one unexpected message appeared in Emily's inbox. "Hi Emily, it's Nathan. I heard about the community art project downtown. Would you like to meet there tomorrow?" Her heart skipped. She hadn't expected this. A mix of excitement and nervousness swirled inside her. Could she face him after all these years? Could they even speak without old frustrations resurfacing? The next morning, Emily walked to the art center, leaves crunching under her feet. Nathan was already there, examining a mural, a soft smile on his face. When their eyes met, a silent shock passed between them, followed by a warmth she hadn't realized she missed so deeply. "Hi," Nathan said, his voice careful. "Hi," Emily replied. The word felt small but heavy with meaning. The first moments were awkward, filled with small talk about the project, the city, and work. Slowly, as they walked through the gallery, memories surfaced. Shared jokes, secret spots, afternoons spent imagining adventures. The ice began to melt. By the time they left, the walls of the art center no longer felt like strangers' territory. They felt like a place where two paths could cross again. Over the next few weeks, Emily and Nathan met more often, mostly through the art project. They laughed at old memories, talked about their present lives, and slowly rebuilt trust. Nathan spoke of his work in environmental design, the long hours, the isolation, and the pressure of success. Emily shared the joys and struggles of running her boutique, the loneliness of closing her shop late at night, and the small victories that kept her going. At first, their conversations were careful, testing the waters. But little by little, the walls built by years of silence began to crumble. They discovered that, despite the distance and the years, their friendship had the same foundation it always had: trust, understanding, and a quiet sense of belonging. One rainy afternoon, Emily invited Nathan to see her new display at the boutique. The shop smelled of fresh paint and polished wood, windows fogged from the warmth inside. Nathan admired the designs, the colors, and the care she had put into every detail. "You've done an amazing job," he said. "I can see how much heart you've put into this place." Emily felt a warmth in her chest. "Thanks, Nathan. That means a lot coming from you." For a moment, they stood quietly, the sound of rain tapping on the windows. Then Nathan spoke hesitantly. "Emily, I know we drifted apart because of that stupid argument years ago. I've regretted it every day. I never should have let us go like that. Emily's eyes softened. She had replayed that fight countless times, wondering what she could have done differently. Now, hearing him say it aloud, a weight lifted from her shoulders. I've missed you, Nathan, she admitted. I missed having you in my life. I guess I was too stubborn to reach out too. It wasn't perfect. There were still things unsaid, small resentments, and lingering doubts, but it was real. It was a start. The following months were a mix of joy and challenges. Nathan helped Emily with renovations in her shop, and Emily encouraged Nathan to slow down at work, reminding him to take care of himself. They shared dinners, coffee breaks, and long walks, each encounter deepening their bond. Life, however, tested them. One evening, Emily received news that her boutique's main supplier had gone bankrupt, leaving her without materials for her most popular products. Panic set in. She worked late into the night, trying to find alternatives, but nothing seemed to fit. Fear of failure weighed heavily on her. When Nathan learned of it, he didn't hesitate. He stayed by her side, helping contact new suppliers, offering ideas, and listening when she needed to vent. You don't have to do this alone, he reminded her. You never have to. Emily realized it wasn't just the practical help. It was the emotional support she had been missing for years. True friendship, she understood now, wasn't about never arguing or never drifting apart. It was about being there when it mattered most. On a particularly quiet evening, after a long day, they sat outside the shop, watching city lights reflect on the wet pavement. I'm glad you're back, Nathan, Emily said softly. I'm glad too, Nathan replied. I think we both needed a second chance. Life gave it to us, and I'm not going to waste it this time. Emily smiled, feeling peace she hadn't known in years. They had stumbled, drifted, and faced hardships, but together they were stronger. The years apart hadn't erased their bond. They had only made it more resilient. Spring arrived, painting the city in fresh colors. Emily and Nathan walked through the park where they had first met after so many years. They sat on the familiar bench, faintly etched with childhood initials. This bench. It's seen so much of us, hasn't it? Emily said, laughing softly. It has, Nathan agreed. And it will see much more, I hope. Because I'm not letting you go this time. Emily reached for his hand. No rush, no drama. Just calm certainty that they were in this together, ready to face life's challenges. Friendship, trust, and second chances had brought them back, and now they would move forward stronger, appreciating what truly mattered. As the sun set over the river, they sat quietly, watching the water glow in the fading light. Emily realized something she hadn't understood before. Sometimes, life takes people apart, but when it brings them back together, it gives them a chance to grow, to heal, and to cherish every moment. And in that moment, Emily and Nathan knew that their story, full of mistakes, distance, and challenges, was far from over. It was just beginning again. Thank you for listening. Emily and Nathan's story reminds us that second chances are always possible, and true friendships can grow stronger, no matter the distance.